Hello, my name is Alan Watson, and in just 4 minutes and 30 seconds from now, I'm going to share with you a very peculiar, completely natural, and safe tinnitus curing secret that neither you or your doctor will have ever heard before. You'll discover how everything you think you know about tinnitus is wrong. How the cause of your or a loved one's tinnitus has absolutely nothing to do with how loud your music, job, or life is, or was, or even the result of a virus or infection, but is in fact far more shocking than you've been led to believe. Backed by breakthrough research carried out by a team of doctors and researchers in a top 5 university research facility in England, this simple but effective system to erasing tinnitus out of your life for good has now helped cure over 105,302 people of all the frustrating ringing, hissing, buzzing. All these people living life as they deserve, who in just 14 days completely and permanently erase their tinnitus, all naturally, all safely, all by following this unusual secret backed up by clinical research. And it's something you can easily do right this second from the comfort of your own home without going near a single ineffective and expensive tinnitus treatment or remedy, or even visiting a single doctor. No matter if your doctor or physician has told you that your tinnitus is incurable, which is simply not true. Even if you've just been diagnosed with tinnitus or have been suffering for 10, 20, or even 50 years, even if you've tried every single tinnitus treatment or remedy under the sun. Trust me, when I'm finished letting you in on this controversial secret, you're going to be furious at the doctors and media for lying to you this whole time about this supposedly incurable condition. You'll finally be able to concentrate on your life rather than incessant noise. You'll be able to no longer live in fear of loud noises, of music, of cinemas, of having fun. And can you just imagine being able to lie in bed at night with not a single buzz or ring or hissing sound? Being able to relax and enjoy life as it was meant to be enjoyed. It may seem impossible to you now, and you may be feeling skeptical, but stay with me today and pay close attention, as it's time to throw away the preconceived notion that tinnitus is a life sentence, and begin to follow this 100% natural and safe tinnitus erasing system, just like thousands before you, and you too can see for yourself how effective it is. People like Kimberly Hammett from Polk City, Florida, who said,
"Hi, Alan. I gotta tell you, I was so angry when I heard my doctors had been lying to me my entire life about my tinnitus. I've had it since birth, and it used to make me mad when they would tell me I'd been subjected to too much loud noises. Unbelievable. Before finding this secret, I tried everything to get rid of my tinnitus, even white noise machines. Well, I can tell you now it's been 17 days, and I am gobsmacked about how well your tinnitus curing method has worked. In the past 2 days, I've had no more ringing. Not one bit. I broke down when I started for the first time in my life to experience a world without tinnitus. I feel like my life has just begun. I hope this message helps to encourage you to continue your great work. I can't ever thank you enough. Kimberly Hammett."
And Arthur Benitez from Cambridge, Massachusetts, who wrote in to say,
Hello, my name is Arthur, and for the past 12 years have experienced the nonstop hissing and clicking noises of my tinnitus. Since it started, I've had real problems sleeping, and would seem to only sleep when I was at the point of complete exhaustion. It's been 14 days of following your tinnitus curing secret that you showed me, and I am stunned at how well this works. My clicking and hissing noises have completely disappeared, for good. I can't believe it, and it was so easy to follow it, felt like I was cheating somehow. Now I sleep like a baby, and I have more energy than I can remember. Thank you, Alan, for everything you do. Arthur.
And even Martha Bergman from New Berlin, Wisconsin, who said,
"Oh my gosh, Alan, you are a genius. I can't say I have been suffering with tinnitus as long as others. Must have been only a couple years. But the constant ringing and buzzing was already affecting my work. With me being unable to concentrate or make out what others were saying, I looked like a fool. I am on my 3rd week, and today is my first official tinnitus-free day that so many others that you have shared this secret with have had. It feels amazing. I was back on top form at work today, and my concentration and focus are through the roof. I can't quite fathom how I achieved this naturally and safely, but I did, and I am forever grateful. Best wishes, Martha Bergman."
You're probably wondering how your average, admittedly skeptical American with zero medical knowledge whatsoever has stumbled upon a 100% natural, safe and effective tinnitus cure that you've never even heard of before. As I mentioned, my name is Alan Watson, and that's my gorgeous wife Mary on the left there. I'm a senior sound engineer, 48 years old, and live in Richmond, Indiana with my beautiful wife and 2 sons. Just like 50+ million other Americans with tinnitus, mine started off as a faint ringing in my ears in the summer of 2011. I thought nothing of it at first, and would just wiggle my ear until it eventually surpassed. But as the ringing and buzzing high-pitched noises became more apparent and more frequent, I deep down knew something was up. Tinnitus. My doctor immediately blamed my job. Of course, it was an easy target for him to point the finger at. With my headphones playing soundtracks on all day, he preached it had permanently damaged my ears. It didn't really explain how in my workplace with dozens of others doing exactly the same thing, why I was the one who got tinnitus. Surely everyone else should have it too, and how some people are actually born with tinnitus. But as I did back then, I took my doctor's advice as gospel and thought I had no other option but to grin and bear it. As the ringing noises gradually got worse, I started to get desperate. It was distracting me in my work. I was exhausted. My days were becoming more and more stressful. I would lay in bed at night just wishing the noise would go away for just a couple of minutes so I could drift naturally to sleep. I tried all the different hearing aids. I tried uncomfortable masking devices. I even tried antibiotics and antiviral medication. Nothing worked. Sadly, by definition, there is no cure for tinnitus. And sadly, it's something you and I have been told over and over again, so many times, you actually believe it. And doctors and friends, even family, really play down and don't quite understand just how frustrating and hopeless tinnitus really makes you feel. Just because a doctor cannot see it, hear it, experience it, and as it's definitely not life-threatening or painful, they are simply uninterested. They are bored with it. That is the sad fact. I too had given up on a cure, even existing. Each day was becoming tougher and tougher. I was struggling to concentrate on even the most menial tasks. I was exhausted from lack of sleep. Life truly was miserable. Years of stress and ringing eventually got to me, and as I was preparing my morning coffee at work, a headache came on. So painful, so severe, it felt like someone had put my head in a vice and was slowly tightening it until my head would burst. It was the most horrific pain I have ever experienced in my life. My coffee cup dropped to the floor, and so did I a second later. I thought I was having a stroke. The tension headache was so bad that it left my eyes unable to cope. My vision system was giving up. It had begun to shut down. I could barely see, and if I tried to, all I got was a dark, blurry mess, barely able to make out people's faces and objects. I lay in bed that night, the constant drilling of tinnitus ringing in my ears, my head about to explode, tears rolling down my face. I wondered why I deserved all this. What did I do to have to endure such a terrible condition? At that time, I would rather have been deaf than endure this constant, uninterrupted noise. Sadly, and I am almost embarrassed to say this now, but as far as I could see, my life was over. Little did I know that this exact moment would soon lead to my discovery of a powerful tinnitus curing secret, now used by over 105,000 Americans. The same secret able to help you or a loved one be able to achieve exactly the same results. Unable to work, I lay in bed for days, then weeks. I became bedridden, overweight, scrambling around, hands in front of me to find my way around my house to move. My wife became my servant, at my every beck and call. She too was feeling the burden. Nothing was improving, no matter which medication, antibiotic, or painkiller my doctor gave me. Television was useless and frustrating as I couldn't see what was going on. My only great comfort was the radio. I became a great fan of the radio and would spend hours listening each day. It wasn't until September the 18th, 2013, I remember it well, that something very odd happened. I was tuning in my radio when I came across a radio station. I'd never heard it before, and I'm not quite sure how my radio picked it up, but it seemed to be from across the pond. On it spoke a softly spoken, articulate doctor as their guest speaker. His name, Dr. James Phillips. He was an ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist, consultant with over 25 years' experience in the field, with a very distinct Queen's English-British accent. To my surprise, he was talking about tinnitus, a subject that sadly almost no one would care to discuss these days. I turned up the volume and paid close attention. Dr. Phillips was explaining how after getting enough funding, he was in the first phase of carrying out breakthrough research into tinnitus, along with his team of established researchers and doctors in an Oxford University research laboratory. Whilst all conventional treatments for tinnitus I had tried in the past merely helped, albeit poorly, cover up the symptoms, they were the first team to tackle head-on the actual cause of tinnitus. The truth is, most doctors are purely concerned with the effect, the symptom of the condition, rather than the cause. Dr. Phillips and his team, rather than wasting his research funding on how to suppress the symptoms, were aiming directly for the root of the problem. He explained how they conducted research on 100 tinnitus sufferers and came to a surprising preliminary conclusion. In our ear, there is a part named the cochlea, which collects sound waves through a coil of many tiny hairs. The cochlea is connected to our brain by the cochlea nerve, which carries the sound signals. Each nerve cell in our ear, as well as our body, is covered in something called a myelin sheath. Without this myelin sheath, neuronal communication becomes nearly impossible, and neurons become susceptible to damage. It is essential for nerve cells to function. Recent February 2014 research released in the peer-reviewed Journal of Neuroscience has confirmed that damage to myelin, the protection sheet around cells, alters the transmission of auditory signals occurring during hearing conditions. For many different reasons, the sheath can become damaged or lessened in volume or even damaged from birth. Damage to the myelin sheath results in all sorts of strange noises such as hissing, clicking, ringing, and buzzing, also known as tinnitus. Loud music and so forth can exacerbate the problem, but are not the culprits. Explaining how people can be born with tinnitus, or never even been subjected to loud music or loud sounds, but can still end up with it. And although traditional doctors and establishments lead you to believe, once this myelin sheath is damaged, that is it, finished. You have to deal with your tinnitus for the rest of your life. This is dead wrong. Why? Well, what spurred Dr. Phillips to set up his expert team and gather funding was because of research by US-based Mayo Clinic in 2007 titled Antibody Leads to Repair of Myelin Sheath in Lab Study. It concluded that Mayo Clinic researchers have found that a human antibody administered in a single low dose in laboratory mouse models can repair myelin, the insulating covering of nerves. This process is called remyelination, in which the myelin sheath is repaired. Research in 2003 published in the Brain Pathology Journal and many other papers and journals have all arrived to the exact same conclusion. With the evidence he needed, Dr. Phillips set up his team to work out how they can activate the production of this antibody in the body of the tinnitus sufferers. The beauty of antibodies is that they are made by the body, by your body. Your body is constantly making them to identify and neutralize foreign objects, such as bacteria and viruses. As opposed to chemicals and drugs made in labs that your body would be incapable of making, with antibodies, they are produced naturally and safely. Dr. Phillips explained further. Get the patient to produce the antibody themselves. The antibody will repair the layer of myelin sheath on their nerve cells, thus reversing the patient's tinnitus permanently. Remarkably, in their research facility, they had managed to create a compound which activated the production of this essential antibody inside the patient. And from a period of 12 to 19 days, each and every one of the patients had experienced a 98% to 100% removal of all tinnitus symptoms, never to come back again. Safe to say, the naturally produced antibodies in their bodies were working and doing their job just as the previous research had concluded. But it was all still very early research. And when asked how long till he released his breakthrough findings, he said, "We're in the initial testing phase. We need far, far more tests. These things take years. I would say up to 8 years." I sighed. The truth was, I didn't want to wait years. I wanted this now, right now. But with nothing to lose, I sat up, shook off my blues, got on the internet to find Dr. Phillips' details. Easily enough, I found them, and after many long-distance calls and pestering his receptionist for 5 whole days, I finally got through. Turned out he was pleased for someone to pay interest in his research as it was in such early stages. What Dr. Phillips told me was, safe to say, shocking. "Forget anything you've been told about tinnitus," he told me on the phone. So little is known and invested into finding a cure for tinnitus that people just believe what their book or GP tells them. In fact, the percentage of those who work in construction or the music business who are renowned for constant loud noises every single day and suffer from tinnitus is almost identical to the percentage of those in the general public. He explained that everyone had been looking in the wrong place for a tinnitus cure for so long that they believed one didn't exist. I was itching to get more information. I practically begged him to share his ingredients and method for activating the antibody production. After much deliberation, and after explaining everything I'd been through up to that point, he did. "I am not legally responsible for what you do with this," he said. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart. After the inspiring phone call, I was so excited. I was almost uncontrollable. I became obsessed with how I can create this antibody in my own body. One benefit of being home-ridden is that I had time, I mean hours after hours to, albeit struggle, to scour online journals, medical papers, and search the internet. I had the list of compounds that Dr. Phillips had used to activate the production of the antibodies in his patients. And truthfully, I was expecting to have to invest in some sort of chemistry lab equipment or get outside help. But to the shock of me and my wife, I had a revelation. One ingredient on Dr. Phillips's list was called choline. You probably never heard of it. I never had. But to my surprise, choline is found in eggs, beef, beans, and some nuts. It was unbelievable. Shockingly, working through the list, I found that each and every one of these required compounds were able to be found in single or combinations of natural, everyday, and inexpensive food items that could be picked up at my local grocery store. Some items I usually wouldn't touch or had even heard of, but lo and behold, there they were in my local grocery shop's shelf, just waiting to be picked up for a couple bucks. With Dr. Phillips's assistance, I came up with perfect combinations of these certain natural foods or ingredients that contained all the correct compounds necessary to activate the production of the antibody in my body, or tinnitus treats, as my wife called them. The great thing was, there was real variety, as each of the compounds required were available in many different foods. I began the program the very next day, using a system that some call ridiculous. I put together a varied 7-day rolling plan of which combination of handful of foods to eat each day that contained every necessary ingredient on Dr. Phillips's list. For 6 whole days, I noticed no difference whatsoever. It didn't make sense. I was doing exactly as the previous research had done, how my research had concluded, and how Dr. Phillips recommended. Admittedly, I still felt very skeptical. No treatment had worked before. No hearing aid, masking device, or even medication worked. And here I was, following a program developed on not even finished research from England by a doctor nearly 4,000 miles away, all using ingredients that cost less than $10 to put together. It was almost disheartening, but I carried on regardless. What other option was there? Each morning I put together the correct quantities of each food for the day. Waking on the 12th day, my eyes slowly adjusted to the light. I noticed something. I noticed nothing. Beautiful nothing. I got out of bed, my vision clear. My hearing as clear and silent as it was when I was a young man. I downright slapped myself in the face. I thought I was dreaming. Was this it? Was it actually working? I admit, I was giddy with excitement. I was jumping around my home in pure joy. Worried it was a bout of pure luck, I continued with the program, scared my tinnitus would return back to its usual self. But 3 weeks down the line, it hadn't. It was outstanding. Some days, I accidentally forgot to eat the required foods, and when I noticed no change when I did, I stopped altogether. My tinnitus was gone, permanently, never to be seen again. No more ringing, no more buzzing, no more hissing, no more fatigue, dizziness, or trouble sleeping. Nothing. Amazing silence. The scary thing is, I was getting used to having no tinnitus. I was getting used to being normal again, being able to visit friends and relatives without struggling to hear them, and without the horrible headaches, and without the constant barrage of frustration and annoyance of the constant buzzing in my ear. I was no longer living in complete fear of my condition getting worse. I felt like a new man. My wife noticed it too. I was eventually back at work. I had felt like I had been given a new lease of life. I can't even begin to explain the most amazing feeling of drifting off to sleep with not a single sound or care in the world. It was truly a dream come true. But deep down, I knew I couldn't keep this to myself. I wouldn't have felt right. After enduring tinnitus for so long, and knowing firsthand what the 50 million other Americans were going through, I felt obliged. It was my duty to share this program with others. After carrying out so much research myself online, and always coming up with the same answers and solution, it was refreshing to find something that had worked so unbelievably well. All achieved naturally, safely, and so rapidly I wasn't even expecting it. The feeling of pure excitement over my discovery was breathtaking. I couldn't believe what results I had achieved, and yet not a single soul out there had ever known about how I did it. I took this straight to Dr. Phillips. With the company of my wife, I took the plunge and purchased a flight to visit Dr. Phillips in England. I booked an appointment to see him, flew 9 hours and 3,963 miles, and visited him the morning after my arrival. His office was exactly how I imagined. Large brick buildings with old oak furniture and a whole wall of certificates and accolades. I spoke with Dr. Phillips face to face. He didn't seem at all surprised at my results. Interesting. This confirms our initial research, he said. Why on earth do we not publish this? I asked. His hands were tied. He wouldn't dare risk his reputation and career by releasing research without following strict protocol, which sadly would take up to 8 years. But, he said, there is something you can do. Luckily, I was not in the medical profession. I had no protocol to follow. I had nothing to stop me. We made the decision. I was in England for just 2 weeks, and with the help of Dr. Phillips and 2 of his closest researchers, we put together the complete, easy-to-follow tinnitus reversing system into a guide named Reverse My Tinnitus, the natural, safe, and proven tinnitus curing system. The Reverse My Tinnitus guide describes the exact system I used to cure my tinnitus, the exact combination of certain foods in a varied and effective rolling plan that has now helped cure me and thousands of others permanently of tinnitus. The exact system that has been proven scientifically to attack and destroy tinnitus like nothing else. Importantly, this is a 100% natural and safe cure for tinnitus. There is no risk here. It's as simple as replacing a couple foods a day with those described in the guide, so long as you ensure you get the correct amounts of each food and the correct combination, then you are guaranteed amazing results. We're not talking about completely altering your diet, nor starving yourself. Just simple swapping or addition of certain natural, safe, and inexpensive foods available from your local grocery store. And the beauty is, once you have followed this exact plan for 14 days, you'll be noticing breathtaking results already. You'll notice just how crystal clear your hearing is becoming as your myelin sheaths are rapidly repaired. Your ringing, buzzing, and hissing will be almost unnoticeable. Continue to run the plan for a further 7 days on average, and your tinnitus will be gone forever. No need to follow the plan anymore, as the Reverse My Tinnitus system will ensure your tinnitus has been eradicated from your body permanently. I would love to compare this guide to another out there, or another treatment for tinnitus, but as I am sure you know, not one cure even exists for tinnitus. Can you imagine being able to live life with no more noise? Even just 1 hour of no ringing, I would have given my right arm for not that long ago. But here I am, now, living life with not a single sound out of place. And now you can too. Can you imagine how it feels to no longer live in fear of loud noises or loud places? How it feels to be reborn again with the hearing you deserve? To this day, the groundbreaking Reverse My Tinnitus system has cured over 105,000 people of their tinnitus. People such as Melvin R. Bird from Houston, Texas, who said,
"Alan and Dr. Phillips, you're the best. After being told I was too old for good hearing, I practically gave up after trying every single tinnitus treatment out there. Masking music, medications, even the annoying and uncomfortable hearing aids. It was a pretty stressful time. Well guys, I thank the stars my nephew Paul decided to bring a reverse tinnitus guide around for me to look at. I was a bit skeptical at first, but all the roaring and buzzing sounds were too much, and my doctor didn't even seem to care, so I tried it out. In under 3 weeks, my tinnitus was gone completely. Holy smokes, I thought, this is the real deal. It's been now 3 months and my tinnitus hasn't shown one sign of coming back, even after I stopped your natural and safe plan you described in the guide. Thanks. Regards, Melvin."
and Kimberly Murphy from North Sacramento, California, who said,
Hi there. Just wanted to send you a quick message to update you on my progress with your groundbreaking and natural Reverse My Tinnitus guide. I was told my tinnitus was incurable after damaging my ears from years of loud music concerts and festivals when I was younger. So, you can probably understand why I had no hopes when following your step-by-step guide. I was proven wrong. After just a few days, I had noticed the ringing was far more subdued, and after 11 days, it was gone altogether. I not only know how this system works, but I know it actually works. When I went back to see my doctor, he didn't believe me when I told him my tinnitus had completely disappeared. Shows you they don't know everything. Thank you, Dr. Phillips and Alan.
and even Kevin Earwood, who wrote to say,
Hello, Kevin here. I've been following your Reverse My Tinnitus guide for over 6 weeks, though I slacked off a little bit on the last 2 weeks. I was diagnosed with tinnitus about 5 years ago now, and frankly had gotten used to the hissing and buzzing noises that it taunted me with. The doctors thought it was an infection or virus, but no matter which antibiotic or antiviral medication I took, it never went away. Both the doctors and I gave up. I was depressed and had very bad anxiety from the whole situation. My wife, bless her heart, got me this guide as a last resort. At the start of the 3rd week, I noticed a dramatic improvement in my tinnitus. The ringing was becoming more sporadic and not so constant, and 1 week later, it was gone altogether. I'm cured of tinnitus, and the happiest I've been as long as I can remember. And it's all thanks to you and Dr. Phillips. Best regards, Kevin.
With results like this, and thousands upon thousands of people thanking Dr. Phillips and I for this system, you can probably understand why we would consider charging $297 for this guide. It may sound like a lot to you, but when you consider this is the first system to be scientifically proven to cure tinnitus, backed by clinical studies, then you can probably appreciate the scale of what you are witnessing today. And when you consider the ongoing cost of tinnitus treatments, hearing aids, and even antiviral medication, which can cost up to $2,500 per year, this is really a drop in the ocean. And to tell you the truth, I've been offered over $5,000 for this program not that long ago. So all things considered, $297 to have your tinnitus permanently and categorically reversed for life, well, it is a very understandable price. But unlike anyone else I worked with to make this possible, I was the one who actually had tinnitus. I was the one who was cured, and I was the one who had to endure exactly what you or a loved one is going through right now. And thus, it would make me almost sick to think that someone couldn't experience the results I had from not being able to afford this program. And that's why we're not going to ask for $159. And to be honest, we weren't even going to ask for $99. Nope. For the entire Reverse My Tinnitus guide, we're asking a simple one-time fee of just $39. And all you need to do to lock in this special pricing is press the Add to Cart button below. But I warn you, this is our introductory pricing, and the price, honestly, will rise very soon as the demand gets too much for us. So make the right decision and come in now. Get instant access to the guide right now while the price is low. Simply press the Add to Cart button to get full access to my entire, simple, easy to follow, 100% natural and safe, proven and effective Reverse My Tinnitus system. Once you make this important step and press the Add to Cart button, you'll be directed to our secure checkout page. On here, you'll be able to enter your details, and then you'll be instantly taken to our exclusive members area. From here, you'll be immediately able to access the entire Reverse My Tinnitus guide, detailing the exact breakthrough system that has helped over 105,000 people cure their tinnitus in as little as 2 weeks. All available on a computer, mobile, or tablet device 24 hours a day. From just a couple of minutes after pressing the Add to Cart button below, you can have the real-world and proven solution to reversing your tinnitus permanently. And that is not all. As a thank you for showing us your commitment to this tinnitus curing system, watching this video, and listening up to this point, if you order in the next 2 hours, we want to give you 2 bonuses, absolutely free, to show you our gratitude. The first bonus, which I call Tinnitus Sleep Solution, is a fantastic guide which I'm eager to let you get your hands on. Trust me, I know how tinnitus can affect sleep and your energy levels drastically, but in this guide, you'll discover helpful knowledge like the 4 steps of successful sleep strategy. You'll be amazed how easy it is to fall asleep when you follow these simple steps. 11 tips for creating a sleep-conducive environment. How the effect sleep equipment, such as your mattress, pillow, sheets, etc., can have on the quality of your sleep, and how to select the right equipment to ensure you get a good night's sleep. Even 10 self-help techniques that you can use to start sleeping better immediately. You'll be amazed at how fast these natural techniques can help make you fall asleep. This entire guide is worth $47.99, yours entirely free when you add to cart below. The second free bonus, which we will call Tinnitus Stress Soothers, is another gem I just know you'll love. This full-length guide will lead you through a whole wealth of little-known stress-soothing techniques that just take a couple minutes of your time and can be performed from the comfort of your own home. These techniques are powerful and effective at reducing stress and relaxing your body and mind almost immediately. This guide is a must-have for any tinnitus sufferer, and a guide I still use to this day, even after my tinnitus was reversed. This bonus, worth $39.99, but yours absolutely free when you order today. To get access to the Reverse My Tinnitus guide, including both of the fantastic free bonuses, press Add to Cart below right this second to ensure you don't miss out. And listen up, because I have even better news for you. We understand that you may be hesitant to go ahead and press that Add to Cart button because you feel there may be some element of risk on your behalf when making an order online. So we decided to do one better. We are so confident, so unbelievably confident in the effectiveness of this program and just how much you're going to love the tinnitus-destroying results it gives. We are backing your order fully with our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. This guarantees your satisfaction 100%. If you are not entirely, and I mean 100% satisfied, I want you to email us and let us know, and we'll refund every single penny you've paid. Absolutely no questions asked. This guarantee is purely for your peace of mind. The risk is entirely on us. But when you experience firsthand the effectiveness of this program, you won't even be thinking about emailing us to refund. You'll be emailing us to thank us for letting you in, to thank us for your amazing results, just like thousands of tinnitus sufferers before you who have been cured by this system. To take advantage of this 100% satisfaction 60-day money-back guarantee, simply press Add to Cart below. The fact we are doing our satisfaction guarantee means you get a whole 2 months to try this system out. That's weeks more than even our worst-case tinnitus sufferers have needed to reverse their tinnitus. So all we need from you now is a yes. Yes, I want to give it a shot. Yes, I want to try your program for a whole 2 months, risk-free. Yes, I will act quickly and press the Add to Cart button below. Honestly, I cannot say how much longer this website will be up for, and I wouldn't want you to go away empty-handed when the button to change your life or the life of your loved one forever is right in front of you. And if you leave this page, I can make no guarantee that this video will still be up, let alone the free bonuses that we are offering. You know what to do now. The button to press is right below this video. Press it and get ready to live again. You really have 2 choices. 1, you can leave this page. You can accept that if you don't take action, your tinnitus will never improve. And no matter which treatment or remedy you try, nothing will improve. You can live a life of fear and frustration. Or 2, you can say yes. Yes, Dr. Phillips and Alan, I'm ready to test drive the Reverse My Tinnitus system for a whole 2 months risk-free. Yes, I want to live a life free of ringing, buzzing, clicking, hissing, and whizzing. I want to live a life of how I deserve, how I've always deserved, a life with no tinnitus. Say yes and press Add to Cart below. I look forward to hearing your success story very soon. Press Add to Cart below. This has been Alan Watson.